Hello, it's TB from TS Coaching here. I'm waiting for the live stream to start. On both pages, I'm here. It's a new take today. Had the same video as yesterday, and I'm on Zoom through on Facebook and StreamYard on YouTube. And I'm going to talk about the same thing as yesterday about high performer, and I think I'm live on both pages now. Seems like that. Okay, all right. Yes, let's jump into it. Yesterday I talked about high performer, and in the line here it says that think again, and that's exactly like the title. If you see yourself as a high performer, that is not the best way for working in a team to develop your business or at your workplace. You can very well be high performing, but if you're a high performer, it's more like this competitive. It's about me, who I am, and I need to perform and succeed and get recognition and all that stuff. And that's not often what's the current, like say, business culture want you to be. Perhaps if you are in some traditional sales or about a business, or I don't know, some similar. It could work, but it's not like exactly what many people want. They want to be a part of a team. They want to have common goals that they are all working for, and not individual performers. So that's the distinction I wanted to clear out. High performer versus high performing. High performing is very well, and you can be a achiever. And what I focus on my coaching is super achievers, those that overachieve, overperform. That's just a kind of compensation for that you have low self-worth in your unconscious mind or in your core, or it's like a self-belief that you are not really where you have not really okay as you are. You need to perform in order to be uh, have self-worth. And that's not very good, because that makes you do decisions and behave in a way that's maybe different at what you actually would like to do. So you stay at work longer than you would like to. You'd say you take on projects even though you wouldn't like to. At home, you do too many tasks. You cannot delegate tasks. You want to do everything yourself, and you also perhaps have a too high of control need of control, and are critical and micromanage others. And that's just not for work. It could also be very well at home. Also, could be anywhere, and that's not so. It's not very good to be in that kind of position, and you can also be like in a bad work environment. So you would perhaps would like to get out of that and do something else, or you would have like to have some promotion or a different task, but you don't know how to ask for it, and you maybe don't even know what you would ask for. So you need to sort that out and get more aligned and connected with who you are, what's your strengths, values, what you really want to do, how you can contribute to this world, and everything what that you want to do. And that's not so. It's difficult. It's not very easy, at least, to do on your own. It goes much faster to do with someone else, because there's one part of us that we cannot see ourselves. We are blind to it. Things that others can only see, and friends and family can recognize it and talk about it. But then, if you have a objective person that have specialized and have experience of doing that kind of things, they can do it much more effectively. So yeah. And what else? What I want to share? Yeah, I'm doing this live now again, and I know that I have a lot of people that's waiting for my messages, and my schedule and life moment right now is makes it that it takes long, and just I can just thank you for your patience, and I will get back to you. But yeah, for some that's right. Um, for some, couple of days or a week is so long time, but for others it's quite okay. But I agree that it could be go faster, but that's how it is. That's how life is. And people that rush me too much, then I just go now. Uh, insert swear word like uh, I don't have time for that. People that are just so stressed, not distressing, but I know you need to give a heads up to everyone. But if you do it like every second day and just blah, blah, and just give a message, that's so not what I need. And yeah, but it worked for someone, but not for me. So that's not how I roll, as you say. So yeah, that's what I talked about yesterday about this book, Coaching for Performance, and that's like I thought this would be not so such a good book, but it's really good, and I'll have learned a lot about it from it. Even though I have gone through my coaching certification, I know like the development of coaching, and I know how important it is to keep practicing on your coaching. You are never there. You are never finished with your coaching. And so coaching is not about methods and techniques. And there, yes, one frame tool here: the goal, uh, goal, reality, or resources, options, and then way out or way forward or the will. If I remember it correctly, maybe I said it wrong. Who knows? It's not that important that you make it right. Like in those details, it's more about like coaching as they teach in this book, and they teach us at basic ICF coaching. You need to listen actively, ask open questions. You are curious, and you are interested in focusing on goals, focusing on forward, like not maybe the present, but more in the future, potential. And then you use your creativity and just make things happen, make the magic happens. That's the coaching course in its core. And if I have the plan to just share what is a coaching course, and just tell it in 5 minutes, and that's basically what you learn. But if you don't understand what I'm talking about, and you cannot just understand it in 5 minutes, but that's basically what you teach, and then you practice that, practice. But it's in its core. It's kind of simple, but it's difficult to explain in words. It's like for me, what I do, how to get good at talking on video and doing this lives and this. I don't know. I'm just really sucking at this, and not really really good. But I will never get better if I just try to watch others what they do, and try to get better from that. And also teach how you should do it, but how. Then of course I can test things and all that, and I have courses and materials for that. But I can't just watch them and then I will magically be better. Like it doesn't happen. Some people have or have easier, a better starting point. I don't, but that's how it is. And yeah, so coaching is difficult to explain. You can explain it through those kind of words like that. That type of coaching that is very popular in business. It goes from sports and then business, but then nowadays coaching is so much more, and everyone can call themselves a coach, and many have it all wrong, or they don't. Like you can call coaching can be whatever you want. Coaching through me, but in my opinion, is very much aligned with this one, and also with coactive coaching. As a coach, you don't bring anything, or you bring almost like 20% of your own knowledge or input and tips and tricks and guidings. All rest is like you are a facilitator. You are. It's very good here in this book. Let's see if I remember. It's coaching is about uh, raising responsibility and awareness. If you are being coached, you should be more aware, have that will create resources and power engagement for change, that you know what you're doing, and therefore you can make an active decision to change. Just being aware of who you are and have knowledge doesn't mean that you will change. And about the responsibility is that you take responsibility for what you can actively um, influence on or decide about, and you take responsibility for that, about for your life and what you can actively do something about. Everything that you can do anything about, you can think about it, but doesn't help you. Just leave it as it is, but you shouldn't like just deny it or just forget it, but don't focus on it. Don't focus on things that you cannot control or decide about. uh, that's like being in the victim role, or just think that world why life is so unfair and why is it like that, and I can't do anything in before that thing is fixed. So that's not what coaching about, but that's something I can coach you from to get out of that. And then so I haven't read this yet, but I will read it and just talk more about it. And then I had also yesterday talked about this. I can see it. I don't know. It's a bit. I'm listening to the book about burnout and burnout. That's a really interesting phenomenon. It's let's see, what do I remember from that? It's about the diagnosis. You cannot diagnose a person, a human being, but you can diagnose symptoms that this person is showing, and that's two different things. If you have a diagnosis, doesn't mean that you are at the diagnose and that you as a person is that diagnosis. But the very definition of diagnose is that to learn, understand better. So having a diagnosis is very good for you, even though you might not like it. But here you are exactly here in this moment, and what can you do? Accept it or not? Uh, it can be a relief to know what you have, because then you can perhaps know where it come from, not perhaps from the diagnosis. With psychiatric diagnosis is kind of difficult because they are so complex or holistic. But you can understand it better. How should I handle it, and what's the treatment for it, and then you can get better from that. So a diagnosis is not bad, and but you can identify with the diagnosis, and then you get stuck in it, and that's what you shouldn't do. So, and what else about the stigma of burnout is, if it's work related, that is more so much so accepted that people are proud of that they are burnt out, because they are then feeling that they are so important, that they have so much to do that they cannot really handle it. Then people just pull them in all directions, from everywhere. And I can also resonate with that. In the beginning, when I started working after my university studies, I just wanted to feel important. I had my phone, like work phone and everything and things like that, and my position and my title and my authority and everything. but it was just so stupid. It in a way it's stupid, and it made me stressed. And I was thinking about how many other people are there out there uh, keeping stuck with their title and feeling of importance. That also means that you cannot say no. Like burnout is not about learning to say no. It's about saying yes to your needs and what you really want. That's the real thing. People don't get burnt out because they are not able to say no, and that they say yes to many work-related things or what other people want. Is that they don't say yes to themselves. That's the thing, and the emotion that uh, comes if they think about themselves. They are like they already feel that they are so selfish. So if they would say yes to themselves, and like it's just a small amount, then they would feel that they are selfish. So they are like overcompensating to the other side of it, and like to the opposite, to being really unselfish. And that's not very good for you. So don't do that. But so it's easy to say, but you have to practice and understand that that's what you shouldn't do. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on, not being that important, being humble, being a servant, being there for others, being helping others. And many people look down on things or capacities like that. They are more into this just to compensate, to perform, to to hustle and just work crazy hours and like I would never like work or like do certain things late in the evening and early in the morning. Like that's crazy. I think that's dumb. I value my sleep time, and this is already a little bit too late for me. But I just wanted to make a short one. This is not so short anyway. So that's what actually I would do. I would stop here and hope someone got something out of this. And soon I will make these shorter. Uh, let's see what happens. Thank you for today. I'm out.